Hey, welcome back, and I'm continuing my journey walking through the old streets of Jerusalem. And as you can tell by that gold dome sticking out in the background, I'm actually now down at the level where the Western Wall is. I've just come down all those stairs. We've just come through a security check. You have to put all your gear and stuff through some machinery. And now that we've made it through that, I'm gonna begin to make my way down to the wall. Okay, so for a lot of this portion, I'm going to turn the camera around because I'm not the feature of the video, Jerusalem is, and I want you to see what I'm talking about. I'll just give you a quick view here with me in it. So there we have the Dome of the Rock in the background, the Western Wall is there, and I'll get as close as I can, but at the same time being respectful of people who are here, actually praying and seeking God, and you don't want to be putting cameras in their faces and invading that space. So let me turn this around, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of history on this place. It's windy here. Now this kind of a white barrier area that you're seeing, that's actually a walkway that takes you up to the actual Temple Mount itself. And we're not really allowed to bring cameras and gear up there, so I'm not even going to try that today, but just to let you know that it's there. And so what you'll notice is this is totally redone. Up until 1967, this was not accessible to Jews to come and to pray. And after the 6-Day War, they had access to this place to pray for the first time in a long time. And what you'll notice when you get here, it's actually split into two halves. So I'll take us right down to this little mini wall here. So for all the women, they have to take this path here. And this takes you all the way to the Western Wall. Same Western Wall, but just as it's divided in Judaism. So the women pray to the right side of the wall. I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, so this is where the women pray, and you can see the barrier there. So we're going to make our way over here to the men's section. It's actually not very busy at all. Usually this place is just hopping with people. Let me just adjust something here. Remember, no professional cameraman here, just me and my iPhone. A little handheld tripod. So yeah, it's usually a lot busier here. Now this is the entrance to the Western Wall tunnels, and when we come on a tour to Israel, this is what we do. We go down through the Western Wall tunnels, and the tunnels run parallel. They run towards the wall, underneath the ground, and when you get to the actual wall, turn to the left, and we'll keep walking all the way out through the Muslim quarter, or under the Muslim quarter, until we exit near the Lion's Gate. So let's go down there, and then we'll answer a little bit why the Western Wall. God owns the whole world, right? God is everywhere. So why come to this site to pray? Of all the locations that you can come to, I get Jerusalem. Jerusalem's the holy city. But why the Western Wall? There's 4 walls around the city. And they could pray at the north wall, the south wall, the east wall. Hey, it's near the Eastern Gate where the Messiah is going to come. So why come to the Western Wall? I'll explain that when I get back out there. So I think I'm okay to go right up to the wall today. Not disturb anyone. So I'm just going to join in with the millions and millions and millions of people who have come before to pray here. You can see in the crevices and in the cracks here, there's all these little notes. And scribbled on them are prayers. And every now and again, I think I can turn this around now. Not going to get anybody in the way. So every now and again, they have to actually empty out all those prayers, because you can imagine the accumulation of notes over the days, the weeks, the months, the years, the decades. I mean, it would be filled with paper. So I'm not sure of how often it is, but every once in a while they come and they remove all the prayers. They don't burn them, they don't throw them in the garbage, they actually bury them. There's a special place where they take them and bury them. And they do the same thing with old Torah scrolls. Because they believe the Word of God is alive and there's so much respect for it, they don't burn them, they bury them. So that's why it's not overflowing with notes. So why do they pray here? Why do they bring little pieces of paper to that spot on the wall? So let me try to find a place here where I can just stand for a few moments, talk about it while showing you the background. Okay, so here's the western wall behind me, and we're at the western spot of it. So why is this the place to come if you're Jewish to pray? Why do they hold it in such high regard? The old city of Jerusalem had 4 walls, of course, the north, south, west, and east. And the main way into the old city back in biblical times was through the eastern gate. And when you came in through the eastern gate, you would be confronted by the temple. The first thing you would see is this magnificent, huge temple. And then, so you would be in the outer courts when you came into the temple complex. And then if you were a male, you can move from outside the outer courts into the inner court. And then if you were a priest, you can go more into the holy place area. And then if you were the high priest, as you know, on the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, 1 day a year, the high priest was allowed to go where? Into the Holy of Holies. Because in the Holy of Holies, there was the Ark of the Covenant, and on each side of the Ark were the 2 cherubim, the angels, and God said that there, make a place for me, and there, between the wings of the cherubim, that's where my glory will dwell, that's where I will live. And so because when you come in through the eastern gate and you make your way west, by the time you get to the very end of the temple complex and you get into the Holy of Holies, you're actually nearest to the western wall. So you see where we're going with this. So because they believe that even though the temple was destroyed and because the walls were torn down and rebuilt, they believe that God's presence never actually left. It's been here the whole time. And so when they go to the western wall, that's as close as they can get to where God's presence was on this earth. And that's why they pray there. That's why they put their notes there, because they believe that they are closest to God on earth than anywhere else on the planet. This is the place where they go to pray. Come with us on a tour here to Israel. Come and walk through these beautiful streets. Come enjoying the countless of others, the countless millions of others who have come before to pray. Touch history and never be the same again.